How to escape the rat race. The average individual works for money, waking up early each day to a blaring alarm and traveling an absurd distance to a job they don't like. Having to listen to obscene instructions being barked at them by their supervisor for 8 hours or more, and then, to make matters worse, they have to travel back home, leaving just enough time to eat, bathe, and sleep, and do it all again day after day. Unfortunately, this is the reality for most individuals stuck in this vicious cycle for years. In this video, we will explore ways to break the cycle and escape the rat race. Hi, and welcome back to another video of Finance Sense, where we cover all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. Before we start, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated with our videos. Now, let's get to the video proper. Since when have you encountered someone who sincerely liked their job? A person who looks forward to going to work every day? Meeting someone who feels this way is relatively uncommon, and the data confirm this. Recent Gallup surveys indicate that about 50% of workers are just moderately satisfied with their careers. This implies that countless numbers of individuals are going about their daily lives in the hopes that they'll be able to quit their jobs and find the freedom they've always desired. However, it is easier said than done to really succeed in leaving the rat race. Because of this, gaining financial freedom should be the top financial objective for anyone who doesn't wish to work as an employee forever. This implies that you are constantly working to accumulate enough assets to pay for your living expenditures and free you from depending on a paycheck ever again. Imagine for a moment that instead of waking up to the sound of an alarm, you wake up when your body is completely rested. Instead of traveling to work, you are able to enjoy a cup of hot coffee and a good book. That would be amazing, right? Although this is a way of life worth pursuing, leaving the rat race is indeed more difficult now than it has ever been. However, if you are aware of the barriers that stand in your way, your chances of leaving the rat race sooner than you had originally anticipated would be much increased. So you may assume that the challenges you'll encounter in your quest to escape the rat race would start as soon as you start your profession. But the truth is that the problems started much earlier throughout your upbringing. Unfortunately, most people receive very little financial education in their early years, which prevents them from learning the essential concepts of good money management, such as spending, saving, generating income, and investing. When individuals are in the dark about something, they often seek advice from others who know more about it, but this usually only takes them farther down the rabbit hole of financial inadequacy and the life of the indentured time. You're likely to choose the same path that you observe the majority of people doing, which is enrolling in college with the goal that the degree you ultimately get would open the door to a career that will enable you to improve your financial status. Even though you'll graduate with a degree, if you're like most college graduates, you'll also have a staggering $28,950 in average student debt that will take 20 years to pay off. This indicates that you are starting your pursuit of financial independence from a bad place, but at least you have a job that will enable you to escape the situation, right? Well, it depends. Most college graduates find a job following graduation, which is terrific news. However, this does not always imply that they will soon be flooded with cash. According to recent studies, the average college graduate earns about $55,000 when starting their career. Regardless of whether you feel like you have enough money to begin making payments on your student loan debt and achieve financial independence, that happy notion starts to turn sour as you take a closer look. If you make a $5,000 income, your monthly take-home pay after taxes is about $3,500. The average individual takes 20 years to pay off their student loans because of the high cost of living, transportation, food, and entertainment. For this reason, it is rare for someone to be able to pay down even a small portion of their debt balance each month. Now, you might be thinking that your current salary of $55,000 won't last forever. Hopefully, this is the case. However, if your company is like many others, your raises probably won't be the lifesaver for your finances that you had hoped they would be. The average annual raise, for instance, was 4.8% this year, Accordingly, your income would increase from $55,000 to somewhat less than $58,000 annually. Every dollar counts, but it won't make much difference if you want to quit the rat race for good. Unfortunately, most individuals never realize that their 9 to 5 jobs don't help them achieve their ultimate objective of financial freedom because they lack the necessary financial education. Most employers will only pay you as little as they can in order to keep you. In other words, your objective of financial independence and their goal of maximizing profits are diametrically opposed. Therefore, it goes without saying that if you follow the conventional life path, leaving the working world will be a difficult battle due to a lack of guidance regarding the most effective way to achieve financial freedom, the absurd cost of attending college, and the demeaning raises employers now offer. Sadly, the situation will only worsen from here on out. Most of us use the leisure between each workday to indulge in some form of consumption. We watch TV and movies and use social media, which worsens our financial problems. This not only wastes the valuable time that we should be utilizing to improve our financial status, but it also has significant financial repercussions. When we see the images of our friends going on vacation or getting married, it makes us want to spend money that we could be using to secure our future financial independence. Now, accomplishing this is harder than it looks. While you are saving every last penny in order to escape the rat race, it is difficult to see your friends enjoy life and lead luxurious lives. However, if you can resist the temptation of TV and social media, you'll be good to go, right? This is a positive development. In your pursuit of financial independence, there are external forces that will provide challenges that are beyond your control. Inflation is a principal financial factor keeping most individuals from saving the money they need to leave the rat race. Prices of everyday products and services rise when inflation is high, ultimately wiping out whatever financial advantages you might have had from job raises and promotions. In your attempt to escape the rat race, you will constantly be up against an adversary, whether you are the one preventing yourself from saving money or it is the economy. This brings us to the understanding that most individuals have once they have been in the workforce for a while and realized how all of these parts fit together, especially in terms of financial independence. After a few years of employment, the majority of individuals understand that a 9 to 5 job isn't going to suffice. This is why, at the moment, 93% of Americans either run a side business to pay their expenses or advance their saving goals. Additionally, you must put in longer hours at work if you hope to have any chance of escaping the race. But when you're young and have few responsibilities, taking a part-time job or requesting overtime is simple. However, as you get older, time becomes more valuable. Suddenly, you have a partner with whom to spend time and take care of your children, assuming that your workday does not exceed 8 hours. Thankfully, there is a way to get out of the race and have a satisfying life. Even if money is essential, it is not everything. First, you must develop a 9 to 5 escape strategy. The details of your escape strategy will include everything from the time frame for your escape to the amount of money you'll need to spend and save, as well as the methods you'll use. Working backward, you must begin with the amount of money necessary for retirement or escape. This amount depends entirely on your living expenses. And if you wish to accelerate this process as quickly as possible, you must become less dependent on your income. Reduce your entertainment budget, downsize your living space, and use more cost-effective transportation. Given that these are the most expensive costs that most people have, they will provide you with the most value for your money and, inevitably, enable you to save more. Once you know how much money you need, you may calculate your escape figure. Some experts advise having 30 times your yearly living expenses as a precaution because once you quit your work, you don't want to return. For instance, assuming you can retire on $40,000 per year, you would need $1.2 million. The following step is to decide how long you will give yourself to save this money. In general, the longer you have, the less you'll contribute to your investments. For instance, suppose you have no money saved to date and intend to escape in 15 years. Assuming a monthly return of 7%, this indicates that you must invest $4,000. Now, it's evident that your 9 to 5 work won't provide you with enough money to contribute this month. But since earning money will only take up some of your time, you should start spending any extra cash you have on cutting back on costs and putting in longer hours at the office to buy assets that will generate income once your time becomes more limited. For example, $4,000 to invest may be generated through a blog, rental property, digital product, and more. It may take some time to get things rolling, but if you don't find a means to earn the income you need passively, you'll eventually reach a point where you just don't have the time to work additional hours. This is the trap into which most people fall and why so many never escape the rat race. So, if you're serious about leaving the race, steer clear of the pitfalls, cut costs where you can, and put all of your extra money into an emergency fund. Soon enough, you'll be bidding your 9 to 5 work farewell. The key mindset shift to escaping the rat race is that you're not stuck doing the same thing for the rest of your life. There are always plenty of ways to make more money. You just need to know where to look. It appears that we have reached the end of this video. Thank you for watching this far. Please subscribe and give a like if you enjoyed this video and comment your thoughts below. This is Finance Sense, helping you keep up with all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. See you next time.